got you in my sight. I keep all the words you said to me. I get you, get you, get you, get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, get you, get you. Now you'll beg me, please. Hey.
Disclaimer, read all about it.
Hello, everybody. It is November 13th, 2025. I'm your host, True Crime with Eve, and we are back from my previous live a few hours ago talking about attacking the false confession of Stacey, Wondra. And more so, it was the live was more about not just what he says, it was actually more about the statistics on false confessions and what organizations are out there that have case studies and things to support what I'm talking about. So those who are here, thank you for listening. And if you missed that, go ahead and watch that after this live or whenever you have a chance. It's the previous live before part 1, basically. And if you're returning, welcome back. Hit that like button. And thank you for being here. If you're watching the replay, thank you for being here as well. And if you like what you see and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, especially when it comes to Michael Vaughan's case. I might not have a lot of viewers tonight because I'm at, everyone's competing for the 4:30 slot, and I was late. I was a few minutes late. Whoops. Sorry. I did my best. I had pre-dinner snacks to make and, mom life, right? And I absolutely did not go get a Starbucks blonde vanilla latte. I sure did not do that or anything, which caused me to delay a little bit. So sorry about that. Hi, Jesse Martinez. Welcome in. Miss Rubug, thank you for being here and helping a sister out. FAFO, welcome. Thank you for being a member, by the way. Jesse Martinez, hello. Volume up, please. Is this better? I'm sorry. Is that better? I think I have my microphone too low. My bad. I think we're good. If you can hear me clearly, hit a 1 in the chat for me. Perfect. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay. I was going to do a poll here in a little bit before we get started, but there's not a lot of people right now. Like I said, my analytics kind of tells me when the best time to go live is, and I picked the worst time. Not that it matters, but there's no point in asking or polling right now, so I'm going to wait and see. But part 2 is going to be again about his Stacey Wondra's actual alleged post interrogation confession or directing the law enforcement from Fruitland PD and Chris McDonough from the Cold Case Foundation in the interview room on where to find Michael in the backyard. Also accompanied by the probable cause affidavit, which is the most important thing to look at and comparing, right? I was going to do that earlier, but I had to make this live and split up the time. So thank you for returning if you're here. Hearing you anytime is good. Well, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that. Others might not agree. Others might disagree vehemently, okay? They adamantly that I suck. And that's okay. But thank you. All right, let's just hop right on into a summary of what I spoke on my last live about, which was, again, 25% of convictions are overturned. 95 of false confessed crimes. And 95 of those 25% convictions, 95% of those are obtained by coerced plea deals. And again, I want it drilled in your mind if you follow this case, either on the trauma drama side or those like me who try to be neutral from that. It definitely needs to be the basis of thought, because this is going to start the, first of all, Michael's justice if they are in fact involved, but also if they're not and they have a right, a God-given American right to defend themselves and face their accusers, that they can advocate for themselves and defend themselves to the highest possibility. And so that's what we're doing. Because no matter what you feel or what I think or what my theory is or yours, we have been told on these YouTube streets by Stacey and many others involved, like Brandon, that we did not do this. And the only person who is saying or who initiated all of this with this alleged confession is Stacey Wondra. He also, on these new YouTube streets, said he didn't do it. He went to the news and said, I have nothing to hide. I need to clear my name. And even if you still think or will never change your mind on how you feel, it really doesn't matter, does it? Because that's what he's saying. And this probable cause affidavit is about him and Sarah, because they've been officially charged as of now. They just haven't been seen by a judge yet. Okay. Which makes it really stick. Because they can drop charges at any point they want to. So just know that. And so we're going to talk about these kind of things until something else happens. All right. So now that we've established that it's charges against Stacey and Sarah, as of right now, I want to go over, before we start this video very shortly, how important these numbers are, okay? 25% of convictions are overturned from a false confession. That's a quarter. That is a quarter. That's a lot. It shouldn't be that high, right? There was a quote, I can't remember who's created this quote or said this quote, but it was, let 10 people guilty be free than one falsely accused go to prison for the rest of their lives or whatever. And I agree with that. I really agree with that. I believe that to falsely imprison someone for charges they didn't commit is more egregious than letting people never get caught. And that's just where I stand. But I understand other people don't. But that's just where I'm at. Also, these 16 hours, this is the average amount of time it takes to get to this point, which isn't a lot of time, but it feels like a lot of time to people who falsely confess to a crime they did not commit. And this has a lot to do with it. So, having said that, I'm going to go into the leaked footage that Clutch Them Pearls. I'm trying to get it right instead of saying and being nasty on this live for now. But Clutch Them Pearls is who received the body cam footage, allegedly in error when asking for footage of a jail incident that happened in November of 2022. basically, Stacey Wondra battered a man in jail, and it was caught on video, and they put it out there. And apparently that's how they got the footage. And it was allegedly not supposed to go out there, not supposed to be out there by the Fruitland Police and Fayette County prosecutor. And I explained in my last live how that could have been prevented by prosecutor Mike Duke from the Fayette County, and how there could have been an injunction or simply just asking Washington County to not put that out under an exemption clause. And that didn't happen. So I don't know who's to blame for that, but it may and probably will have implications in the trial if they in fact do keep these charges and try everybody, right? So there's my spill. That's it. And then we'll go into the video. Didn't Stacey claim he was interrogated for like 4 days before the video? Yes. And everybody is scrutinizing, this alleged false confession stuff, and I get it. Like, you should. On the other hand, though, people who think that because he called them back to give more information or whatever it may be, we don't know the nitty-gritty of what was being said between Stacey and law enforcement and Sarah. We don't know the ins and outs of everything. So to assume anything really is not good. I don't like having egg on my face and not doing like the full research of what's going on, right? Let me pull the affidavit up before we get into that video, because I'm going to reference it like I have been the past few lives. And we're going to quickly read over what Stacey said without being too insensitive. So what's important to remember about this alleged confession are the dates. So Stacey Wondra has said to many people on YouTube that he took a polygraph in May because he was arrested for an unrelated gun crime charge. He's a felon and he's not supposed to have it, and that's what happened to Sarah too. But when he was arrested in Fayette County before being transferred to Washington for his federal gun crime stuff, I believe it was Idaho State Police, Matt Sly, and maybe even Chris McDonough was there, I'm not sure, but he did a polygraph test, and apparently all of them did, in May. And he said everyone passed, or he passed. It's kind of changed, so there's that. But we do know that they were reaching out and talking to, all of them from the beginning of investigating Michael's disappearance. So here are the dates that we need to keep in mind. And maybe I can add a note to reference. That's what I'll do. I think it's important. Make a sticky note for myself. Okay, so August 1st, 2021, Adrian, Lucian, Stacey, and Sarah, and Wondra and Brandon Shurtleff were contacted by the police, like knocking on the door, and searched the residence. And it's in here. In this probable cause searched. I think it was August 1st. Yep, August 1st. So on August 1st, Fruitland police contacted the residents at Red Wing, where they live. On their initial search of the residence, they located Adrian Lucian hiding in a closet. Residents of the home on that date and on July 27, 2021 were identified as married couple Stacey and Sarah Wondra and Brandon and Adrian. All four were interviewed August 1st. Right before the canine dogs the next day and the day thereafter pick up scent on Meadowlark and Red Wing and go straight to their door and fence out of all the homes. Okay? So Adrian was vague. He didn't want to give his information, gave Stacey's number as his own to the detectives to try to conceal his real phone number. So that was the first time. That is important when it comes to searching. August 1st was the first time that they ran. I'm assuming they had run dogs through their house. I'm not sure, but at least police went in there to look around. And would you think that they went into the backyard? Wouldn't that be like the absolute first place, besides the ins and outs of, crevices in the house and the whatever, the basement or the attic? I don't even know if they have those in Idaho. But anyway, they would look everywhere, including the backyard, including that shed they have, including the garage. Did they see the... And when I say garage, it's an inside joke, so just go with it. Did they see the tricycle that they mentioned in here? Did they mention seeing or smelling anything odd or weird? Did they run scent or tracking dogs, cadaver dogs, drug dogs, whatever dogs? Did they run them through the house? Because that's what the police said they did. Almost every home was searched and checked thoroughly. So would it had to have been after August 1st that this went all down? Because the probable cause does say anywhere from July 27th to 2025. Right? Right here. We don't know what day it was, but it was in between this time that we believe this happened. So, okay, August 1st, we now know that was the first time everybody came in, or at least police came in for specifically Michael's case. Be interesting to know what all went down there during that search. Let me check in the chat really quick because I know Miss Rubug's like, ooh, November 5th, 2022. Yep, exactly, Jesse. I didn't even know that you could call from the jail at 1 a.m. But I guess because since, Detective Crimmin from Fruitland, he has family that works at the Washington County Jail, which is allegedly how this all began with getting in contact on the 5th and the 10th. Maybe that had something to do with it. Didn't they also prevent him from calling his mom until he confessed? That's what he states. That was an incentive, rather. Can I call my mom? Because that's what you'll see it in the video. He's always asking about, are you the one that makes the decisions on this, that, and the other? He's always trying to find how to get the deal that he was promised, or seemingly so. Wouldn't they have seen the tricycle then too? Right. So in August of 2021, did they see it? And I think that that's important really quickly now that I'm thinking about it. When we're talking about this tricycle that Kim Elko saw in spring of 2021 before Michael went missing on these boxes, and when did she report this would be important. Yeah, it's such a good question. When did you remember to see that you saw this? And how did you know it was that day or time of year? But yeah, they would have seen it. Because Jim Smith, the neighbor on Three Rivers Way, grabbed this tricycle to use the wheels and put it back. And then Kay, who is Sarah's adoptive mother, who lives 4 houses away, said, I know for a fact I saw that tricycle while walking one day. And it was in the thorny bushes near the bluffs. And it was before Michael went missing. I know this. So let me look at that one real quick to make sure I got it nailed down. Okay. Yeah, she was shown a picture of the tricycle. Kay was. And she claimed she found it in some bushes prior to Michael's abduction. The bushes that Kay described are near where Mr. Smith found the tricycle just after Michael's abduction. I wonder if they told her about, if law enforcement told her about this tricycle before saying anything about Jim, who she, I believe, knows. I don't know if it's well or not, but they know each other. Okay. So Kay said that that would be the reason her DNA would be on the tricycle. I don't know what prompted that response. We'll see in the future. Kay said that after all of that effort, she left it at the intersection. She told me the exact same thing. She was like, and after all that effort, I just kind of left it there at the intersection before Michael went missing. So that is a very interesting timeline. We have August 1st, the police are coming in, and then they talk to all four of them. Did they see, smell, hear anything? Did they miss something? Did they fail Michael on August 1st by not thoroughly, properly investigating the house? Or was it just that concealed? Was it that perfect of a crime to go undetected? Because these are brilliant mastermind criminals. I don't know. Maybe they are fooling us all. And I am being facetious on that. Chris McDonough makes me sick. Strikes me as a choreographer of false events to secure a false conviction. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people do. Wasn't there like 3 homes that refused to cooperate during searches? I've never seen that. I do not know. That would be a good question. I'm sincerely unaware. It would be interesting now that I have found out by multiple people who had either stayed at the Red Wing residence and one who owns the residence. It would be interesting to see why Dorothy, the neighbor who allegedly saw Michael at Meadowlark and Red Wing, that corner, why didn't she say that she stayed there prior to Michael going missing and a few times here and there afterwards? And the whole reason why they kicked her out, allegedly, was because they found out through this whole, through Michael going missing, that they were questionable. Their backgrounds were extremely questionable. And their charges were relating to harm of minors. I would just say that to try to be safe for YouTube. That's what, prevented her from coming back. And I think that she stayed maybe a few times out of desperation or something. I don't know. But that would be very interesting to see when exactly she stayed with the Wondras and when she didn't, right? So, moving on, because this is about false confessions. I'm just learning things and connecting dots as I'm speaking sometimes, so I apologize for hopping. But we'll do that on another live. Believe me, it's coming. That's kind of my whammy one. Timelines and not only timelines, but witness testimony and how they fail. They can fail. All right. So that's good to know. Going to where Stacey said things and then watch that video. We're just going to quickly go over it. Just Stacey. Because if you're following this case, you would know just bare minimum that when they went to the house, law enforcement went to Red Wing to do the excavation. When they served Sarah Wondra with a search warrant, which was leaked to the news, she said, I've never murdered anybody. And then starts spouting off, God Almighty just told me who did it, as we know. That all started and came to be from the words of Stacey Wondra in jail. And we have to see and read what he was doing on these dates, and then listen to the leaked footage, which is important, even though it shouldn't have been leaked, period. No matter who's tired of what, it shouldn't have happened. A good friend of a grieving mother would be better than that and say, we shouldn't do this. Even if we called Fruitland Police, it should never cross your mind. It could fuck up the trial and whatever. You shouldn't do it. That's just my opinion. Hi, Cryptics. Good to see you. Good deal. Good deal. I will get with you very soon, like here shortly, about talking about Delphi, okay? So look for a DM. Check your DMs in the near future. But thanks for stopping by, love. All right. So on November 5th, they're not telling us how many times they called or met with Stacey, which he alleges met multiple times with a lawyer and then 2 or 3 without one. So we're not going to know that. But definitely from November, when he got arrested for the gun charge, May to November, he was seeing and talking to police, obviously. We all know that. It's not a secret. But on November 5th, for some reason, at almost 1 a.m, Stacey contacted Fruitland Police and requested an interview at the Washington County Jail, and Stacey provided vague details about events. That's not good. Why vague? Anyway, Stacey provided vague details about events surrounding Michael's abduction. Stacey said Sarah's religious beliefs and behavior changes started within a couple of days after Michael's abduction. So how did we get into that conversation? Affiant meaning who wrote this, which is Detective Juanita Keller from the Fruitland Police Department. After Stacey's arrest for an unrelated incident, Stacey spoke of changing phones and or SIM cards to prevent law enforcement to follow or profile him. Okay, is that because he was eluding law enforcement of Michael's crimes against Michael? Or just in general because y'all were contacting them habitually? I don't know. We'll wait and see what that says in trial. On November 10th, so 5 days later, Stacey again asked to speak with Fruitland police detectives. Stacey wanted a deal. He wanted a deal. A plea deal? What kind of plea deal? What do you mean? Huh? How did you know about a plea deal that they offered her? What kind of plea deal? How do you know what happened to Michael so far? How do you know what happened? And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the beginning of the end when it comes to, in my opinion only, the confession. He is inquiring about, what do you mean there's a deal to be had or met? I guess curiosity is killing that cat. And he has to know what they are telling her. What do you mean deal? So they told him in between at least the 5th and the 10th, or maybe even prior to that deals are being made or offered. Right? Which involves Chris McDonough from the Interview Room and the Cold Case Foundation, allegedly, who talked to family members of the suspects, who has a history. And I think everybody knows about that. And if you don't, there's a false confession on his tainted on his history, his career rather. Okay, a big one. It was a horrible one. It was a minor, and there's no escaping that, and there's no talking out of it. It happened. He was a part of it, and there's that, and that's that. Just because the lawsuit gets dropped and he doesn't have to pay monetary gains to them, to the family, who earn every penny that they got from that, it doesn't mean that you are scot-free from any scrutiny, especially from me. Period. Check in my chat before I continue. Please, if see that PCA or novel, that is the worst probable cause affidavit ever. I know. It really is, if I say so myself. However, there have been very awful PCAs that doesn't really give the full potato, if you will, but it gives you some house fries here and there. And then when the arraignment happens and the discovery comes, bam! A lot of stuff comes out because they don't want to show all their cards. Like I said before, and I've said it many times, probable cause affidavits have a very, very bare minimum low standard on probability of a crime. That's like the bare basics. You don't have to have really much of anything. You can charge a ham sandwich with these bad boys. So, Stacey wants to know about a deal. He wants to know about a deal that 25% of convictions that are overturned due to a false confession, that 95% of the time is obtained by coerced plea deals. What entails a coerced plea deal? Let's just look it up. Let's go old school Google. I have no idea what any of this means. I am ignorant as leap about any of it. So let's just do this. Coerced confessions, plea deals. Let's see what we get. Innocence Project. Perfect place to go look. Let me see if I can have this read to me, because I'm lazy today. It's been a long day, guys. Long week. We're almost to the end of the year. Holy shit. So we're going to do the old boring read this article. It's boring here sometimes, guys. Sorry. No drama for your mama today. Maybe we can summarize this. I haven't used Adobe to summarize, but I heard it was really bad. Yeah, that's okay. We'll just... Maybe we can do that.
Coercive plea deals can pressure in.
Ooh, no thank you. No, sir. I don't like the robotic voice. Yuck. Can we do this one?
Hi, this is a preview.
Yeah, that's much better, whoever you are. Jesus. Okay, let's go.
Coerced pleas. Coercive plea deals can pressure innocent people to plead guilty to crimes they didn't commit. In a criminal case, a plea bargain is an agreement between the prosecutor and an accused person in which the person facing charges is given the option to plead guilty to a lesser offense and, in doing so, avoid going to trial and facing a potentially harsher sentence. To date, more than 95% of felony convictions in the U.S. have been obtained through this method. Oftentimes, prosecutors use the threat of the trial penalty, the difference in length and severity of sentence between that offered in a plea deal prior to a trial and that given if a person chooses to go to trial and is convicted after trial, to coerce people into accepting a plea despite their innocence. This practice can strongly discourage innocent people from exercising their right to a trial and instead encourage them to admit to a crime they did not commit and waive other fundamental rights that are critical to a fair criminal legal process. Coercive in nature, guilty plea deals can be offered and accepted even after an incarcerated person has proven their innocence through solid evidence.
Oh my. Guilty plea deals can be offered and accepted even after an incarcerated person has proven their innocence through solid evidence. Wow. So, okay, so you You're free. You have literally exonerated yourself and proven your innocence. But we're going to give you a plea deal for, let's say, destruction of evidence or concealment because you lied to us. Even though we can lie to you all day, every day about anything we want, we still can charge your ass with tampering with evidence, or maybe not tampering with evidence, but, concealment or interfering with a law enforcement investigation, or maybe witness intimidation, something they can chop you up on. It happens a lot. And now that we're seeing that the very weak, in my opinion, concealment charge is there, it wouldn't surprise me if they added on a few more if the case is really looking weak. They do it all the time. All the time. So imprisoned individuals can have their sentences reduced or return home with time served, but only if they agree to plead guilty under a conditional plea. Okay, so now that you have an understanding of how this kind of works, that makes a lot of sense when you're looking at the probable cause. And he's calling to check out this deal, and I bet they were like, jackpot, Yahtzee, bingo, baby. He fell for the trap. Let's get him. Right? So let's look what happened on November 11th, which was the excavation, or 10th into the 11th. So after hearing about this deal, he wanted a deal. The same offer that was given to Sarah, we don't know what that is. Stacey admitted that Michael had been in the house the night of Michael's abduction. Oh no. Oh no. What is that called? Coercion. Taking, what is the pure definition of coercion? Not related to anything, just coercion. You're taking something of value and doing something against another. That's coercion. He wanted to know what deal she was getting because, in my mind, he's thinking, this bitch ain't going to roll on me and get me hemmed up on something I didn't do. We're going after her. I'm going to do whatever they think. I'm going to get ahead of this. I'm going to get ahead of this and do one better on her. Which allegedly it was immunity, but if he really believed that, if that really did happen, wow, sir. You know damn well that does not work. Hi, Cams. It is cool. Isn't that cool, Matt? That's really cool. Hi, Cams. Hello, everyone. True Crime with Thief. Sorry I'm late, but at least I made it. I'll have to replay later. Absolutely. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. If you are coming in, hit that like button while you're here and it's fresh on your mind. All right. So I just talked about him wanting that deal one day before the excavation. Or, one day before the warrant was served on Sarah. So in a 1 day turnaround, one freaking day, here we are, serving Sarah Wondra with a warrant at Red Wing. And she goes into a psychosis of some sort and says, God Almighty, the utmost highest God told me this, that, and the other, and blaming everybody and they mama, giving conflicting reasons why. And we'll read that shortly. That's a problem. That's a big problem. In Idaho, it really isn't, but in the grand scheme of things, it is. It really is. And there are people fighting very hard out there for people who have been duped by this very old card trick that law enforcement officers use all the time. So, what's next? So he starts singing like a canary after he finds out what deal she got, and he was like, I'll take it. And I think it was 10 years plus 7 or something like that. It was silly. And then once he heard about this, he had to start talking, I believe. I think that the deal is that if you tell us where Michael's remains are, after some negotiations with, I think, chewing tobacco, because he really just needed that chewing tobacco. And he wanted a pizza or something, or Subway, in which he got, allegedly. Right? Milking it for what it's worth. And he's like, shit, they want Michael's remains found. And I don't know what to tell them. Because, I don't know. So here we go. We have him trying to figure out how to get ahead of Sarah, which I think is the main motive. I could be wrong, and he could very damn well know where Michael is. I don't know 100% who does. I'm not suggesting that I do know that he does or doesn't. I don't. But why? What would his motive be other than that? Let's just put that to the backside here, because we don't know. What would be the other motive? To get ahead of Sarah. He doesn't want Sarah railing him, saying that he did all of these things or was capable of it, and getting some kind of plea deal that she really knew what happened and he didn't. I could understand that. It's actually pretty smart. I understand that kind of line of thinking, and he is the exact prototype, in my opinion, of someone that would fall for that shit. And he did. He absolutely did. Thank you, Cams. Hit that like button. That makes sense. But we don't know for sure. And so I can't sit here and say he's guilty because he confessed. You would be an idiot, in my opinion. I would say this to your face if you tried to convince me to just say guilty, when this PCA has nothing forensic of value on where or what happened to Michael. Maybe it'll come out later, but as of today, I stand firm that I can't see guilt. I cannot see it with this so far. So Stacey then said that when he first saw Michael, okay, so he is implicating that he first saw Michael. Let's really break this shit down before we listen to the video. I wasn't going to break it down, but let's do it now. I changed my mind. Stacey said that when he first saw Michael, Sarah was carrying him. So Sarah has him physically before he even knows who he is. That's what he's alleging. Sarah was carrying Michael into their home. Stacey said that Michael was put into a duffel bag to transfer him out of their house into Brandon's house in Cuna. Trigger warning for those who can't listen to this. I want you to stop before you hit that X. And realize that this is not fact. Or it would be not just a probable cause affidavit. They would name it factual affidavit. Discovery. Or what they call a bill of particulars with the evidence. This is all alleged in the mind of a detective or detectives. Please drill that in your mind before you think that this is what really happened. But if you have an animated mind and it affects your ability to feel safe and all of that, please don't listen. But if you have just an ounce of curiosity and can stomach this, maybe look at it from this didn't really happen. We're playing a really bad movie. Okay? And I know it's about a little 5-year-old boy. I understand that. I'm not trying to be insensitive. But take your fifis out of it for just a minute, as much as you can, and listen objectively. If you can't do that, I'd rather you not. Please don't. Exit out. Don't do it. Stacey then said that when he first saw Michael, Sarah was carrying Michael into their home. Stacey said that Michael was put into a duffel bag to transfer him out of the house and to Brandon's house in Cuna. So right off the bat, that is implicating Sarah having Michael first. into their home at Red Wing, and then Stacey said that Michael was put into a duffel bag to transport him out of their house and to Brandon's house in Cuna. Right there is a lot going on. That's a lot going on. He's summarizing what it sounds like if this really happened. That was the plan. Sarah came in, something happened. Did he ask her what the hell's going on? I don't know. We'll see the video footage and see if anything comes of it. But what's going on here? How did we get from Sarah busting to the door with Michael and then putting this poor boy in a duffel bag alive? Wow, that escalated horribly quickly, tragically. What are we talking about here? This is insane. I've never heard of anything so horrible, but lacks of detail or understanding of how we got to duffel bags and all of it's insane. Stacey said Sarah was frantic. So here's some motive, if I guess you want to call motive. Stacey said Sarah was frantic, trying to figure out what to do. What to do about what? What happened? Did you get the full story, Stacey? Were you just sitting there like a bump on a log? What happened? So Sarah was trying to figure out what to do, and Brandon interjected, "I have a duffel bag." Stacey described Michael as crying, and to prevent him from moving or making noise, Stacey described how Sarah taped Michael's mouth, I guess, using duct tape. Okay, so he's not in the duffel bag yet. Okay, no, he's not. When asked who put Michael in the bag, Stacey said, Brandon grabbed the bag and gave it to Sarah. Okay, so they have a lot of faith. Sarah runs the show. That's what people who think that these people actually did it. And it is what it is. Sarah is got the balls of this whole operation. She is the leader of the pack, is what Stacey's trying to make it out to be. So obviously, after hearing about the deal she may get if she rolls on old Stacey Reno and Brandon and Adrian, his response to all of this is targeting Sarah. Because he felt like he was targeted by who? Sarah. And Sarah thought that maybe, who knows what was told to her, that Stacey was going to roll on you, sweetheart. You're old news. And her TikToks right after getting out of prison and him calling makes a lot of sense now because, baby, they were fighting like cats and dogs about stuff not related to Michael. From my understanding, it looks like they were having lovers' quarrels and somebody found out he was cheating. And I wonder if that came from yours truly, XOXO, Affiant Keller. And Chris Madonna, perhaps. Maybe Crimin? I don't know. But some shit talking was going on. It seems like. They were not happy with each other at all. Okay, so Sarah, when asked who put Michael in the bag, Stacey said, Brandon grabbed that bag and gave it to Sarah. Sarah picked up Michael as Adrian helped hold the sides of the bag open. Like it's one of those duffel bags for laundry, like you could do laundry in, and you take it to the, it's been a while since I've done that, but I'm assuming in my mind, maybe. And they shoved Michael in this duffel bag. Stacey described Michael was wiggling and trying to get away. Stacey said he could see Michael in the bag with his knees bent up in the fetal position while describing and demonstrating how Michael was taped. Now, hold on. Let's stop here for just a second. What? What do you mean? I thought he was wiggling. In a duffel bag. There's not a lot of room to wiggle if you're in a duffel bag. And I'm not trying to be grotesque, guys. I'm looking at this from it didn't happen. This is from somebody is being horribly vindictive to not only Sarah but to law enforcement. Okay. So there's not a lot of room to wiggle. But Stacey's like, well, okay, so then his knees are bent up in the fetal position, and then while describing and demonstrating how Michael was taped and stuffed into the duffel bag in his living room, Stacey had a physical reaction and began violently vomiting. Okay, that's concerning, right? Wait. Let's continue reading, because even the affiant tells on herself a little bit here. She didn't know which one this was about. When asked if he was vomiting because of the chewing tobacco he was using, he indicated that he was throwing up because of the stress of talking about Michael. Oh, okay. Okay. He is a masterful manipulator, this one. Stacey provided 2 reasons they stopped in the GMC at the corner of Southwest 8th and South Arizona in Fruitland. 1, Stacey was to put power steering fluid into the vehicle, and 2, so Brandon could check to see if Michael was still alive, because Michael was bound with duct tape and stuffed into the duffel bag in the bed of the truck. Stacey said he was able to hear Michael making noises like a dull scream. Stacey said that they were worried about being seen because they saw a car parked off of South Arizona. Now, hold on. What? I got red flags for days on this. Look at how many contradictions are in this. If you just slow down and read it or listen, like, you're going to stop at the corner of Southwest 8th in Arizona where everybody can see you. Cars are going to come in and out of the neighborhood. People are going to go want to get dinner, whatever. And you're scared people are going to know about Michael. So why did you stop? On a very basic level, let's say you steal a dog. Very expensive Malinese. And you don't want to be caught. You don't want anybody to know who you are. Do you stop at the corner of of the intersection where he may live right down the street, knowing this is the only way in and out of the neighborhood? Why would you stop at the corner where everyone can see you? Because you were worried about Michael being heard. Please, somebody, if you could have a breakthrough moment for me and tell me how that makes sense, put it in the chat or put it in the comments on the replay. I will be so thankful, because I cannot for the life of me understand. So Stacey said they drove straight to Brandon's mother's house in Cuna, where Brandon grabbed both bags, the duffel containing Michael and a backpack. I wonder where those 2 items are. Do the police have them, and did they want them if they did? I don't know. So they grabbed the duffel bag containing Michael and a backpack and went into the house by himself. Stacey said that once they arrived in Cuna, Michael was not making any more noises. This makes no sense. Why would you not put Michael in the cab of the truck beside Brandon, where you could have not only an eye on him, okay, as grotesque as this is, if you have the ability to stuff a poor boy into a duffel bag, you have no qualms about dull screams. You have no qualms about it if you're a psychopath that can fail to abduct a child, blah, blah, blah. Everybody really, I cannot believe how gullible, and I'm not trying to shame anybody watching. That's not what I'm trying to do here, but if you just slow down and read this, it makes no sense. It's contradictory. It makes no sense. And it's almost pathetic to me that law enforcement thinks that this is legitimate without evidence of a crime that they're telling these people did outside of this man in jail trying to see what deals are being dealt. I cannot. I'm flabbergasted. I'm sorry. I really am. And it baffles me and I ramble. So my bad, but I stick to my story on that. So, none of them had checked on Michael to verify he was still alive when they arrived in Cuna. Stacey said that Brandon told him he left Michael in the bag and put him in the spare room inside his mother's house. Well, was he alive or not? If this even happened. I mean, here's why it makes me so upset, because this is out here. Yes, it is out here. And when I put this out for the first time, and I was the first to put it out, I was hoping that the majority of people would understand how goofy this really is and how horrific somebody who would think that this is legitimate would go with this and charge somebody with first-degree murder. I was so wrong. I underestimated the mass hysteria. Okay, I really did. And maybe I'm just looking at it from the small world of drama crama YouTube. Maybe a lot of people feel the same way I am, but they're not saying anything because it would be insensitive. And I just have the kahunas to talk about this. But wow. Law and Crime, shame on you. News Nation, shame on you. Laura Matthews, shame on you. Everybody who really, Michelle Walks, oh, I can't even say it. Shame on you. For all saying that this happened, making it seem like there is no other way. When you know damn well that when the narrative is flipped with parents they don't like or don't advocate for, you will not see the same kind of treatment. You would see what I'm doing, bucking the system because none of this makes sense. You would see what you should see, but you're seeing, oh my God, and dramatics and grifting and exploitation. Now I see why people call out bad YouTube creators. I get it. And if it happened to me in the past and I was mad about it, I'm over it. I get it. No hard feelings. To verify that he was still alive, Stacey said that Brandon told him he left Michael in the bag and put him in the spare room inside his mother's house, which they searched without a warrant. Wouldn't you think a warrant would be like right there? That's warrant worthy, baby. You have people say, one person saying this happened and you don't get a warrant? I thought that was enough in Idaho. Hearsay. That's probable cause, is it not? We went to Lemhi County to search for Michael in some cemetery of the families of Brandon's, and nothing came of it. How did they get that? But they couldn't get a search warrant or enough probable cause for a search warrant for Tina's house? Doesn't make any sense. They then towed Brandon's car back to Fruitland. Stacey said that Sarah, Brandon, and Adrian went to Cuna the next day to get Michael. The three of them brought Michael's body back to their house in Fruitland. I bet you they're going off of pings. I bet you those law enforcement officers are corroborating this with pings, which does not bode well, but it does not help at all their cause if Stacey is, in fact, false confessing. That's going to hurt them. He stated that he was inside. Brandon was on guard, and Sarah and Adrian dug the hole together. That's not exactly what was said now, was it? That was a big contention for me. Because when we watched the footage, that's not what was exactly said. Stacey reported that he did not previously report this information because he thought he would still get into trouble and because he was fearful of Sarah hurting him. So why didn't they charge Stacey, Wondra, bare minimum until they figured all of this out when he got out that first time with failing to report a death. So they let some psychopath roam the streets, alleged child murderer, to run the streets when they could have hemmed him up on a charge of failure to report a death like Sarah. Maybe that's why they charged Sarah, to see what they could get away with. It's kind of, and I always knew, in my opinion, if this is what happened in their minds, at Mike Duke's mind, if in fact I'm right, this was the tester pilot for Sarah. And then, because he didn't get out at the time, Sarah got recharged with old stuff that was dropped. Do you see the manipulation and the, what's the word? Getting ahead of the game by law enforcement. So maybe that was why they knew to get ahead of law enforcement and change all of these things like SIM cards and cell phones, because they're going to try to pin this on us. Maybe they're going to try to really make us like turn on each other one day, or maybe there was something, some kind of thought process there. I get it. Apparently there is a bad rap sheet of detective work there. Maybe. Allegedly. In an interview, Stacey said that Michael had this stuffed animal, some sort of a stuffed animal. I want to say like a dinosaur or a monkey. What I saw was a monkey. Was a green and looked like a green monkey. In one interview, Stacey said, advised that the lime green monkey was a dog toy that he and Sarah gave Michael to keep him quiet while he was sitting on the couch in their living room. In one interview of how many? There is your proof, Joshua. The lab. There it is. Because there was no other interviews. This was a confession. This is the confession video. And then he had to concede because he was wrong, along with Clutch My Balls and others. But in one interview of how many? Basically, what the affiant is saying here is that in one instance, they're saying, Stacey is saying some sort of a stuffed animal as if it wasn't the dog toy, which it is the dog toy that he's speaking on. And then in another interview, he contradicts himself because he said exactly what it was. It was the squeaky toy, a dog toy that Sarah bought Oakley, their dash hound. Wow. Oh boy. And I'm not a defense attorney. I'm not a legal professional. I am a nobody in Texas who understands what it's like to be railroaded by lazy police work. Okay? And I don't have to be a professional to know that this is wild. This affidavit. And improbable, in my opinion. Additionally, Stacey states that the idea to take a child to sell for money was Adrian's. Oh, okay. So Stacey is really just a witness to all of this. He just witnessed the crime. He's an accessory by mere looking at it from an outside view, right? Right? Everyone else's fault. So to take the child and sell for money was Adrian's idea, and they would get a $10,000 cut. Okay. Well, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. Please, everybody, understand. I am not trying to be disrespectful, and the family members should not be told what I'm going to say. And they are, because I said that. But shame on you if you do. You're a piece of shit. Because this is about finding the truth. But wouldn't a live child be what you would want for the $10,000 cut? You would do everything in your power not to have this boy unalived? Because why would you want to take a child to sell for money if they're not alive? This makes no sense. It's pissing me off. First of all, for Stacey saying this bullshit and for people to believe that this is actually a thing. And maybe it is. I just don't see it, guys. I really don't. Stacey was asked if Sarah provided any direction throughout any part of this. Stacey was asked if Sarah provided any direction throughout any part of this. Stacey said that Sarah asked him and Brandon to follow her lead like we're in some movie. Good God. Which was to take the kid. This is giving like Grease. Follow my lead, schnookums. You know, and they're like about to go into their dance scene on Grease. And we're going to take the kid. Like, that's what I would think Stacey would think of, because I've talked to him long enough that his childlike mind, he's literally the worst sometimes. Follow my lead, puffing up the collar. Stacey recalled that most of the conversation at that point was Sarah trying to figure out what they were going to do. Sarah had asked Brandon where we should put the body, and Brandon was like, well, you guys can take it over to my mom's or to my house and we'll deal with it. And that will buy us some time. For what? To figure out what to do with what happened. What made it go from 0 to 90 on your little plan for $10,000 cut and it all go to shit? What happened? How did it go wrong? I don't think we're going to get the answer here, to be honest. Following his interview with law enforcement, Stacey called his mother, Tammy, who I'm not a fan of, from the Washington County Jail on a video visit. Tammy asked Stacey if Michael was alive. Stacey shook his head no, and I'm guaranteeing you she did not put in the entirety of this. The affiant. Stacey shook his head no and said Sarah accidentally killed him. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So we have Sarah walking into Red Wing. Stacey is calmly eating his Cheetos or whatever, hanging out waiting for this Cuna ride. Tow, rather. And Sarah busts through the door like Kool-Aid Man and says, oh, shit went south. Follow my lead. Preposterous. I'm sorry, it really just pisses me off. Sarah accidentally killed him. So Sarah comes in and accidentally kills him in the process of what? Why? Her craziness? She had a psycho moment because she pistol whipped somebody before, or told Tanner Dogbone Butler looking ass in April of 2022 to back or you're going to get this gat because he was drunk and belligerent. Okay, I don't know. Maybe. I guess you could maybe connect the dots here. Yeah, she has mental issues. She is allegedly schizophrenic. Definitely diabetic. I'm not even going to say allegedly schizophrenic. She is schizophrenic. It's a fact. It's a fact. And maybe she was having a psychotic episode. I don't know. Even though she is anti-abortion, and that's why she called herself a murderer, because she had one before, Juanita. So Tammy asks how. Stacey says suffocation. So she was so out of sorts in her mentals and did not really think this through. Suffocated him to keep him quiet. But because the duct tape did... Okay, wait. The duct tape didn't work. The duffel bag didn't work. Both of them didn't work. So the next best thing after getting him in this muffled situation with the duffel bag and the tape is to what now? Suffocate him. Oh. The $10,000 wasn't enough for Sarah. Sarah didn't care about the money anymore. It was about revenge or some shit. She's a sick psychopath. And that was her next thought. Okay. So Stacey said suffocation and went on to say they buried him in a duffel bag. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you really at this point, be honest, don't lie. For the 30 people watching or so, I'm going to start a question and answer. Do you feel with 100% certainty that Stacey is telling the truth? Yes or no? Let's see. Put it in the chat. Put it on record. Ladies and gentlemen of the court of public opinion. Queen said no. Queen of ASEAN. No. Good. That's a good start. Hopefully we get more people who respond. No, no, no. Chrissy Cat says no. Miss Rebecca says mm-mm. How did I know you would say that? Yeah, no. 4 no's. Miss Rebecca says, and why would they bring him back knowing cops were combing the streets? Yeah, you want to be far away from home as possible. You know that they're going to be searching for this missing child in your neighborhood where you live any moment. Why would you come back? They could have stayed at Brandon's mom's house. They could have just stayed there and waited. But they came back at 11:32. Remember? They came back like, well, maybe we should control this. Just have an eye out on everything. It'd be better if we just go back, not look suspicious, because if we don't come back, then they're going to come back anyway. Maybe. Doubtful. All right. No is the consensus, the majority. Now, if you were in Clutch My Balls or A&W's chat or the lab's chat, it would be, yes, of course. Of course, of course. Crucify him. We don't even... I had a comment that said, literally, we should just do away with these 4. Forget the trial. Save some tax dollars. And I was like, oh, thank God you're not a juror. Jesus, lady. I could just see like a cigarette coming out of this woman's mouth. Hang from Georgia or some shit like that. That's what I envisioned her as. Anyway. So after this interview and phone call to his mother, Stacey wrote an apology letter to Michael's parents and then attempted to hang himself in his jail cell, but he was rescued by Washington County jail staff. Why did he want to write an apology letter to Michael's parents? Whose idea was that? Was that for Stacey to seem more convincing? Or was that something that maybe the mother was asked early on if you could find forgiveness, if somebody just told her where Michael was, could she find it in her heart to forgive? And I know about that conversation behind the scenes. I know about that. Sometimes I wish I didn't know what was recorded. I really don't. But I do. So maybe that was why they asked. I don't know. It should be noted that during part of Stacey's incarceration in the Washington County Jail, prior to his confession and directions on where to find Michael's body, Sarah was out of custody and living back at the house on Red Wing Street, as evidenced by her being there when law enforcement arrived to execute the search warrant. Excuse me. Sarah could have had the time and ability to move any evidence from the property without Stacey's knowledge, but did she or did she not? Did she get rid of her furniture? And that made you suspicious as the affiant? As the team over there? That she could have, and maybe got rid of beds because maybe Stacey indented that fucker on the left side and she didn't want it anymore. I don't know. Maybe she just wanted to get rid of everything that had to do with what she was told by police could be involved. She was done with his cheating ass. I think the TikTok even said he cheated in their bed. I would want to throw that thing away too. And I wish I didn't know that. Good God. You know, I really didn't want to know that. No, thank you. So, that's just my opinion. Okay, now how do I get rid of this thing? There we go, live chat. Perfect. What are y'all saying in the chat? What's the deal with them not being open-minded about others and their opinions? That'll never happen. They're narrative driven. They're PR reps for whatever makes them money. They don't care. They have no soul. Wish we knew, Cam. Right. All right. So in June, we're going to Sarah quickly. Sarah called Kay from jail and spoke about spouses being able to testify against each other. Dr. D turn on Stacey. We're not going to turn on each other. I think I was even a witness to, not to this call, but something similar later on in 2023 or 24, maybe, whichever, 2024, where I heard that being said. Kind of like, there's nothing to testify to. So we have to wait and see what that entirety of that conversation is. Okay. So that's when the search warrant was executed, after all this blabbering, after all this jibber jabber of conflicting statements and unnecessary weird movie-like script play thing. This transcript of buffoonery. They executed that search warrant. And on November 12th, Stacey described the exact location to Chris Madonna and Juanita and all of them. Maybe Cy Armstrong was there. As to where to find Michael buried in the backyard of the residence, he instructed detectives through a video chat, which we will see on the footage. Sarah Wondra, who was located in the residence at the time, was detained. As officers read to her the search warrant, Sarah said, "Wow, that is a lot. That is a lot." And I could just imagine her saying, "Wow, that's a lot. I definitely did not kill that boy. The Most High God already told me who did so. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The Most High God just told me that Stacey was the one who killed him, and he buried him in the yard of the Carson's house." Okay, whoa. How did Carson get dragged into this? I never heard of Carson's name, who is the neighbor right next to them, who have the questionable past regarding minors. And his wife, too, the one that saw the trike, or Michael on the trike. What? He didn't say anything about that. So why is Sarah bringing up that? Interesting. Was it easy to do that because they knew they were conflating or comparing in their minds at that moment Carson and harm against children? Because they do have that a past, like I said. Where's Dorothy in this? She also said that the Most High God told her Stacey was the one that killed him and buried him. So God's telling her this, which is bananas. He wants me to make sure that you understand that I had nothing to do with it. I mean, you didn't have to put God on. You didn't have to put that on God. God's probably like, whoa, fam, I didn't say that now, Sarah. You need to say that for yourself. Here I am now sounding psychotic. Okay. He wants to make sure that you understand that I had nothing to do with it. He said that Stacey buried him in the backyard by the shed. It wasn't actually Stacey who harmed the boy. Okay. Stacey was the one that killed him. Stacey was the one that did not harm him. Which one is it, Sarah? Which one is it, Sarah? They're pinning these two against each other because Stacey, allegedly, in my opinion, it's highly probable, FYI, that this was about plea dealing, the oldest trick in the book. Because if we can make a deal and it's a steal, you're not going down for this deal. Not as bad as the others. And I've always had a problem with plea deals, but you have to have them sometimes, and I understand why they're there, but it is very concerning. And how they get away with using this stuff to, get convictions, because that's what it's about. Getting justice. It just sucks that they can't be supportive and just be civil, right? Oh, that's never going to happen, and I'm too sassy to just sit by and let it happen for too long. Then I get real, not Eve-like, not ladylike. It's been like this basically since the beginning. There's always been such a divide, unfortunately, and it should be about parents versus suspects. It should be about Michael. Agreed. Well, and respecting the siblings who are the most affected and did not deserve a lick of that. They don't deserve to be going through this. And we can all argue whose fault that is. That's for them to decide and work out, not us, but we can have an opinion on it. We absolutely can. And calling out what doesn't make sense is also right. It sounds like, to me, that two uneducated people with disabilities literally sat there and tried to use lawfare on one another because they were fighting and getting ready to part ways. Amen. Ding, ding. Tap that gavel, ding. Boom, boom, boom. That is my theory, cams. If anybody wants to know, that is exactly where I stand. Allegations of cheating, and it would not surprise me if people that surround themselves around the mother of a missing child or alleged murdered child is the ones that are putting these little plants of information into their ears. Because they knew Brandy Vaughan, Chrissy Vaughan, Tyler Vaughan knew exactly who this person was in April of 2022. Now, if you want to think that that's suspicious or not is on you. I just know they knew who they were, and knowing what I know about that family, they will absolutely come after your ass through other people and terrorize your ass until something happens, including the PI that was hired or used. I don't know, whichever one you want to call her. Oh, well, there's two. Who knows? Miss Tracy. So they will absolutely terrorize your ass unknowingly to the person who's getting it and why they're getting it. They just know that they're being fed this by a friend who contacted me out of nowhere. Let's say, for instance, in September of 2022, when Sarah's going through the thick of it with her divorce, or future divorce, filing papers and whatnot, and trying to fill herself out again. Somebody randomly texts her and says, I have pictures of you in your past. You're not a good person. You're not a God-fearing person. What did you do with Michael? I'll expose you if you don't tell us the truth. Okay, Ricky. That's what that's why she called you Satan or Hitler or something. I get it now. Using other people to terrorize this girl. You don't think I know? I don't know? I do know exactly what happened. So when somebody over there with a purple theme acts like they don't know this shit was going on later, oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. As officers started to search the residence, Sarah asked several times if the officers had found him yet. Okay. So Idaho State Police and Ada County Sheriff's Office assisted with this execution, of the search warrant at the Wondra residence, along with 5 separate certified cadaver dogs. Prior to officers digging in the backyard of the Wandra's residence, canines were deployed and alerted in the backyard I'm assuming Red Wing. A total of 5 certified cadaver canines were deployed, and all 5 alerted inside Wandra's backyard. In the approximate area of where Stacey claimed he witnessed Sarah and Adrian burying Michael. Okay. How do you know it was Michael? How do you know? How do you know? You would want to know there's a comparison of maybe when they find him, that would be more accurate, of course. Testing the soil, and if they ever found him, that would be great. But they don't have Michael. They can't bring him home. And so, what do we have here? What did they alert to? Was it Michael? We don't know. In the neither Michael nor any human remains were located during the execution of this search warrant. Prior to excavating the backyard, law enforcement noted there were several areas in the yard that appeared to have been filled in with dirt or re-sodded. Kay and Ed Ramsey reported that they had filled in the areas of the yard where Sarah and Stacey's dog had dug holes. Let's watch that video of the dog, the wiener dogs. Because I want you to see what weenie dogs or dash hounds do as a breed. Like, what is their thing? What do they do? What are they meant for? Well, I can tell you, it's such a cute video. They are literally born for this. Aww. What are you trying to get? What are you looking for, little bitties? Is it a fox? Is it a rabbit? Because that's what they were trained for, bred for. That's what they do. Oh, my goodness. How cute. Oh no, not that video again. It's adorable. Come on. Weenie dogs with dirty faces digging things. Oh my God. What's better than that? Well, don't change. That's why I'm here and not on their lives. I appreciate genuine and sincere creators. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ding, ding, boom, boom. I am a absolute goof. I will say that. Parents versus suspects. No, it's about the truth. Only one victim, little Michael. Amen. Amen. Right. And as I said yesterday, Jesse, wouldn't you want the right person held responsible no matter how long it took? Right. There are families out there that don't get the opportunity to ever find out what happened. Never. And there are some that do very quickly. But none of that really matters at the end of the day, as much as it would benefit everyone emotionally and mentally, as much as it can if it was sooner. But that's not always true if it's based on lies. What if these 4 get convicted and appeal one day and win? What if they win? You're traumatizing another round of this on family, right? And again, maybe I'm completely off base. Maybe I am. Gophers, most likely. Oh yeah, gophers. That's right. Or any kind of vermin, right? Is what weenie dogs like to dig for. They were originally bred for crawling between walls to catch rodents. Yeah, vermin. That's right. That's what I read. Thank you for reminding me that. Thank you. Well, that's, explains this whole suspicion on filling the dirt and resodding it. Makes sense. Oakley was a digger. That's what he did. Because he's a weenie dog. Born for it. At various interviews after the disappearance of Michael, Stacey was asked what happened to his and Sarah's phones. We're not going to care about that right now. That's extra. And that's all we need right now. Now to the video. Are you ready? Hey. Didn't somebody with a watermark just complain about my watermark? The irony. The irony. I think it's funny. Stacey, Wondra. Okay. I have this downloaded. I just can't find it. I can't pull it up even if I had the search right. So we're just going to go with the old school method of going to YouTube News KTVB. All right. This is an hour and 8 seconds long, or 8 minutes rather. I am going to zoom because I talked too much, as I always do. Sorry about that. So just keep up, because we're going. What do they call it? Xbox mode or something. I'm so bad at this whole lingo stuff. I'm turning into my parents. Lord help me. Sound will come on. Just hang tight. Hang tight. There it is.
How's it going, man?
First things first. They're watching somebody in ag say, who is that? I'm nosy. But anyway, I bet you they can see Stacey Wondra in this cell freaking out. I would love to see that footage and how long it was of Stacey just in AdSeg. That way we can get 100% clarification on how long they had him hemmed up in AgSeg. What you think? I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. How's it going, man? Okay, how are you doing? Good. Hey, I've been patrol guy over here. Hey, we're just gotta get some formalities out of the way, so I'm gonna read this to you real quick, okay? You have the right to remain silent on anything you say. Canon will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. You cannot afford to hire a lawyer and want one. One will be appointed to represent you before any questioning. Okay. You have the right to interrupt the conversation and use these rights at any time. Okay. Do you understand these rights, as I told you? Yes, sir. Okay, hey, Detective from PD, you know him? Mm-hmm. I've been talking to you a bit. They want to FaceTime you so you can give them a little more information on where this body's actually buried at, because I guess they're not.
So you know the detectives, they want to FaceTime you. You've been talking to them for a little bit. Okay, duly noted.
Find him yet. Okay. Are you good with that? I mean, good as I'm gonna be. Okay. What's your pin? And I'm gonna give you a number so you can dial in there. Let's turn that.
Hello, Crimin Jr.
What time is it? I think it's about 2 o'clock. It's about 1:42. So you're a deputy out in the field? Yep. I thought you worked in here. Yep.
It's 1:42. Now look at the clock here. I wanted to point this out so long ago and forgot to do this. It's 1:42, but the body cam says 13:42 because sometimes, you know, Eastern versus Central versus Mountain Standard Time, it gets a little squirty, right? So probably the software is based on, what was it? That would be Mountain or Pacific, maybe. Because that's 2 hours. I don't know. But what we know is it's 1:42 in the morning on the 11th or 12th, excuse me, of November. Good to know.
Wow, I didn't know you were a deputy out in the field already. I thought you said you were just a killer. He's going with me today. Oh. Yeah. I don't make it back here too much. You can't add phone numbers. You can't? No. These are all numbers that I previously got. You got to add contacts.
Interesting. He's out in the field with me today. He's just with me. Why? Why are you, who's connected directly biologically to a detective in Fruitland, why are you here? Interesting.
And you can only add email. Okay. We'll get an email. Take out my dad, and we'll get this set up. He's gonna have to download the video on Facebook. FaceTime happened over Ben's work phone, but the only thing is we just recorded on the bottom.
He's very familiar with Benjamin Key. Sounds like he knows them very well.
What's the actual music? It's called Getting Out Visits. He's gonna have to go close to an hour to set up. Can you hear? No, it's the key with the light on it. The jail's getting pretty full, man. This one? Yeah. Are you the chief deputy? No, that's not me, man. I don't want that. Nope, I just do. I serve civil papers and then I cover patrol calls. So
He works for the Sheriff's Office of Washington County. That's all I could have said.
so you don't have like the permissions to like. No, it's not me, man. Oh, okay. No.
So, funny that Clutch My Balls won't admit it. But this footage has a skipperoo. I want this known every time I play this. Look at the time up here, which is actually 1:45 at this point. Just watch it.
I serve civil papers and then I cover patrol calls. So you don't have like the permissions to like. No, it's not me, man. Oh, okay. No.
You don't have permissions to what? Talk about plea deal bargains, maybe? I don't know. We'd love to know what that says.
We can probably get you in contact with the right person, but they refuse to call. And I've literally been stuck at watch since Thursday night, and they told me that I was going to have I was going to be able to get off on Friday, but they didn't realize that it was Veterans Day. Yeah. Well, you gotta, can I utilize the restroom for all this? Like, that really messed up earlier. Yeah.
All that coughing from that chewing tobacco.
Well, I think I have this person's number. Yeah. You have his work number? You don't have a work number? No, is that this? So that's the number? Yeah.
I wonder if they're scrambling for Juanita's number, Chris Madonna's number, or who? That's what I want to know. Did they not have Chris Madonna's number?
I'm not sure. Yeah, he's just using this one. Do you want us to FaceTime you off your personal cell, or do you have a work phone you want to do it off of? Okay. Alright, we'll set it up now. Alright, bye. Jay said that he lied to him? I guess that was the guy that was a phone call that they heard last night. He told his mom that he lied to these guys.
Oh, he says, let's back it up, Terry, back it up. Oh Lord, let's back it up and slow it down. Not that slow. Sorry. That's terrible. He does have a Michael bracelet on too. Good eye, Miss Rubug. That's directly from the family. Yep, that's crazy. Well, let's go ahead and write down conflict of interest number. I won't even say the number. I'm not giving away my numbers. But there's multiple, as JDF said. There are multiple.
Jerry said that he lied to him? I guess that was Yeah, there was a phone call that they heard last night. He told his mom that he lied to these guys.
Oh, how did you get the call to his mother so quickly when you need a warrant, do you not, for that thing? I mean, all of the calls that me and Stacey had, and whoever Stacey talked to, which were a lot of people, there was a warrant for them. Did you get a warrant for this? How? How do you know? Who told you that? Who told you that? And I forgot to mention the biggest thing of all. He lied. He told his mother he lied to the detectives. Oh, wow. One more time.
He said that he lied to him?
I guess that was
JD Huff said it. Oh boy, that's even bigger. I didn't catch that last time. Oh, not the Huffster. Damn. I was hoping maybe it was Juanita.
phone call that they heard last night. He told his mom that he lied to these guys.
Oh, is right. Oh no.
Everybody was acting real stupid overnight, but we didn't find anything that we did a shakedown. About 5:30. Pretty good size bag of mouth. Pretty good amount.
Bag of meth.
Gram or two.
Yeah, I heard just like gram and a half or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They charge anyone? Yeah.
Who's got a gram and a half of meth in their cell? God dang, what are they doing over in Washington County? You don't get your... I know it happens. Contraband happens. You better look at one of your jailers. Damn. Somebody's dealing meth in the jail.
Money for bringing it in. But then you share it with,
I spared you the toilet flush sound. You're welcome.
You got paperwork to serve me too? Do I? Yeah. No. I just saw papers all throughout the desk. No, that's... Alright, bye.
Okay.
You have an office and... Oh, no.
Hello?
Hey, we're trying to make it go through. Alright, bye.
Okay.
It keeps...
Says it can't receive video calls right now.
Are you on... Are you... Is the number that just got dialed, is that an iPhone?
No. How are you?
I'm here.
Feeling okay today?
I'm tired, but yeah.
Okay, here we go. So here it goes with the affiant. XOXO Juanita.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that you will help me a little bit more. I'm over here. I'm in your home.
Okay.
So I need a little bit more direction about where Michael is at.
Go out the back door, or...
Okay?
I can't. Can you turn the camera around so I can show you?
we're flipping around right now, stand by.
Right here.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm going out the kitchen door.
Alright, that's some equipment.
That is some equipment. Okay, where do I need to go?
Okay, face to the right. Like right where the dirt piles are.
Right where the dirt piles are. About how far off of the fence?
Right.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, walk over there. You point us to where it needs to be.
Okay. Now keep going out a little further.
Keep going out a little further. You're gonna have to climb that mound.
It's like right under that mound area.
It's right under the mound. About where at compared to the trees?
So, a little like right to the right of the trees area.
To the right of the trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little
So,
bit. Where that?
can
Where
you
the?
see- Okay, where at now?
Now he's off the dirt mound. It's like underneath the dirt mound area.
Is about where he's standing?
Yeah, a little bit less, like closer to the house.
Come closer to the house?
Yeah.
And what is he wrapped in?
It should be a garbage bag.
Okay, what color is the garbage bag?
It would either be white or black. We only had 2 colors.
I want you to direct him from the
Stacey. Oh, and hold on. Skippity Tracy over there. Clutch my balls. Whoever edited this sucks.
garbage bag.
It would either be white or black. We only had 2 colors.
And the time skips right
I want you
about.
to direct him from
There you
the
go.
fence where that orange thing in his hand is. Where do we need to stop it?
Right about there.
Right about there. Okay. All right. We will try there.
Okay.
Do you have any other suggestions for us, Stacey?
I mean, like I said, that's where he was buried.
Okay.
That's the last place I've known. Again, haven't been home for quite a while, and
I haven't been home for quite a while. That was the last time. When? What day? When did you say you buried him? How long after you got back from the tow? Like, where are we at here? Where are we at? You're telling me that in the time that Michael first was reported missing, all the way until 2025, 2022 in November was the only time that a cadaver dog hit, and there were no other searches in that neighborhood? I don't think so. I know there was. I know they had more than just August of 2021 search dogs. Come on now. Come on now, Fruitland. What are you doing?
a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So the only other place I would say, if he's not in that backyard, is go to Cuna to Brandon's house and check in the backyard by the tree area.
Okay, well, we're going to finish here first, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
So does he need to go right or left? Or anywhere else?
In the year 2025. Yes, that was a Conan O'Brien sketch drop. You're welcome, people from the 90s. In the year 2022, 2022, you're telling me, with all the technology, you need Stacey's help guiding you. Okay.
That general area, that bucket's enough to dig, but you're gonna want to start digging underneath the dirt piles.
Okay, how far down is Michael?
I don't know how far she actually dug, to be honest with you.
About, give me an estimate.
I mean,
Miss Rebug, on it? On it, yes. So not the duffel bag? Now we're at duffel bags versus trash bags. I was about to scream in the microphone, thank God I was muted, and then I saw your comment and was like, so happy that people are listening. Hey, Carla. Yeah, it was kind of a late impromptu kind of thing. So you only had 2 hours to be notified. No biggie. Glad you're here.
maybe 4 or 5 feet.
4 or 5 feet? 4 or 5 feet, that's probably taller than me.
Like I said, you asked for an estimate.
not
I'm
that
giving you
short,
what,
girl.
I mean, it's probably shorter than that. I don't have an exact idea.
Okay, when she dug the hole, was she standing in the hole?
She's standing outside of it.
Okay, and was she using a regular shovel?
I think it was a bullnose, or what do you call them, pointed ones.
Okay, and did the shovel, was she able to stand on the outside of the ground and the shovel able to reach the bottom of the hole?
Yeah.
Okay, about how far down was the shovel in the hole?
I don't know, let's say like 3 feet down. 2 feet down. I don't have like I said, I don't have an exact, measurement to give you. I didn't pay attention that far.
But you had all of the details. Did the plea, is it not important now? Are you running out of ideas to give these detectives for this deal that you don't even know the truth of the matter yet? Because you can't talk to Sarah because she said, get bent, you cheating son of a bitch. Because you were finding greener pastures in the manure of these ladies of the night. Or ladies. I don't know if they're ladies of the night, but Don't want that rumor to spread because I don't know that. I was just being stupid. But anyway, what the fuck is going on here? You said you knew details that Sarah could not tell you. This is not looking good, guys.
That's okay. Okay, we will try where you suggested, and I will call you back. Okay, Stacey?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Yes, the affiant Juanita, Detective Juanita Keller, and yes, I use her government name every time, and I will. She is the one that wrote the PCA, yes. Can't you tell? I adore her.
Yeah. What you did? What? Call us back. We'll come back here and can you try to advocate and see if you can get a hold of was one of the LT or the fucking or not LT because he's hunting, but the sergeant, and see if you have taken me away from the only thing that.
Now, whoa. Clutch my balls. What happened here? Why'd you jump that far? Why did this footage jump? Watch.
Call us back. We'll come back here and can you try to advocate and see if you can get a hold of
19, 20, 21.
was one of the LT or the fucking or not LT because he's hunting, but the sergeant, and see if you have taken me away from the only thing
10, 12 seconds. Just pew, jumped right on out of there. What happened? We were at 28, 43. What did you remove, Fuzzy Britches?
Thing that one of the only thing that helps me with is being able to talk to my mom, and all I want to do is talk to my mom. That's the only thing I really want. I didn't even barely get to talk to her much last night because everything was so.
Okay, well, I'll talk to who I can and see if you're allowed to make calls, and we'll go from there. I don't, like I said, man, I'm on the patrol side of it, so I don't really know what happens back here too much. So, but I'll give you my word that I'll go talk to him right now and see. So basically, all you want to do is talk to your mom, right?
I just want to call my mom. I have minutes on her side.
Okay.
So in calling her, I don't have to worry about them resetting a phone number for minutes or anything.
Okay.
It's just she has a prepaid account on her number.
Okay. Well, we'll put you back over there, and I'll talk to these guys and see what we can do for you.
Okay.
All right.
Look at Kyle. This guy. I don't know about this, bro. Look at his face. Just watch him touching his face. Touching your face is always a sign of stress or concern. You're trying to focus. You're trying to figure out something. Watch.
Okay. Well, we'll put you back over there, and I'll talk to these guys and see what we can do for you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for helping us out, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. This come out of 600?
Yeah.
Grab some ice. Come on over here and stuff out of
When I get past my item, like, immediate paperwork.
Well, now I see your reflection. When will your reflection show in the Washington County Jail? I know exactly who that is. Oopsie daisy.
We'll do this up quick.
Now look at the top right of your screen. You will see that it's jumped to, let's assume 4:44 in the morning or in the afternoon. And now it is, let's see, how we were at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, let's just say, and we jumped to 4 in the afternoon. So we got a good 12 hours, give or take. But since this camera footage seems to be off a few hours, let's tone it back to 2 o'clock. All right, still about 11, 12 hours later. 12 hours later.
Hello? Hello?
Hey.
All right.
Wait.
All right.
Howdy. Hey, Stacey.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
How are you? Let me go get them, okay? I'm just out in front of your house here. Let me show you.
Where's Sarah at?
She's in custody.
You guys arrested her?
I guess they did, yeah.
Where'd they take her? Hey,
I guess. Hang on, I'm trying to turn my camera around. There it is. Let me get out of my truck. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Oh. Welcome home.
Yeah, fucking great.
Look, I know we got everybody
rude.
and their mothers here, as you can see.
Yeah.
Welcome home. Fuck you, asshole. I really would say that. I know you're joking. This is not the time. I'm in jail, asshole.
Yeah. And, when we talked the other night, I shared with you, look, put in motion a lot of stuff, right, bro?
Mm-hmm.
And say hi to the crew.
Stacey.
How are you feeling?
Spirited.
They don't care how you feel.
Yeah, help us understand where you're at.
No, I'm just
They don't care.
I'm just tired of being cooped up. I'm tired of being.
Here we go. Oh no, I know this is almost hitting 2 hours and we have to wrap it up because I will get pitchforks outside of my office door from my little boys and Mr. Eve saying, "Where the hell are you?" But I am tired of being cooped up. I'm tired, I'm just irritated. I'm tired of being cooped up. Why are you cooped up? Why are you cooped up? Did you get caught with that baggie they were talking about earlier? Maybe. That's why he was really in at said. Maybe. He never admitted it to me, but I'd be interested to know that.
Stuck in a little fucking cell and not getting any time out.
Yeah, we get it. Trust me. And, so I'm going to turn the camera.
Chris said, yeah, I feel you. Hey, anyway, so. Okay.
Around, and all three of us are here. And let's go into your house first of all, okay? Just for a second. Get an idea. So Carson was out last night. We got here last night.
Okay.
And
How'd that go?
good. He's a nice guy. Yeah. Very nice guy. He mentioned that he doesn't know really what's going on from his position, right?
Yeah.
Which is okay. So we're back home here. Nice guy. Yeah. Very nice guy. So I'm going to turn the camera around. And
now wait a minute,
all three of us are
y'all.
here. And
Listen.
Let's go into your house first of all, okay? Just for a second. Get an idea.
Did it skip again?
Camera around, and all three of us are here. And let's go into your house first of all, okay? Just for a second. Get an idea.
A little bit.
So Carson was out last night.
Carson was out last night. There's Carson's name again. I know it's a neighbor. Could be nothing. Could be something. Carson is brought up a lot.
Got here last night.
Okay.
And
How'd that go?
good. He's a nice guy. Yeah. Very nice guy. He mentioned that he doesn't know really what's going on from his position, right?
Yeah.
Which is okay. So we're back home here.
I gotta slow it down because I am going too fast for my brain to connect the dots here. There's something wrong with this.
Nice guy. Yeah. Very nice guy.
He's a very nice guy.
He mentioned that he doesn't know really what's going on from his position, right?
Carson is the neighbor
Yeah.
to the left who is a very questionable background, and so did his ex-wife Dorothy, who would stay with him sometimes, but then, he would get a little mean, in her opinion. She wrote this. That's why I'm saying it. And she would also stay with the Wondras. Dorothy would. They are the neighbors to the left of the Wondras.
So we're back home here. know while we're here?
What beds are in the house?
Right?
Nice guy.
Yeah. Good. You know, I mean,
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
he mentioned that
He mentioned that.
he doesn't know really what's going on from his position, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't really know what's going on from his position, right? Yeah.
Which is okay.
Which is okay. Okay. Huh? It's almost like if you think that I'm wrong on this, please shout it in the chat. But he doesn't know what's really going on, which is good from his position. Or from his position, so that's good. Right? Okay. Are you trying to say he's not picking up what we're trying to put down? From his position, he doesn't suspect a thing. Wouldn't you use that word that in that context? From his position, he doesn't know a thing. Am I off base? Let me know.
So we're back home here. You can see.
Now, a little PI back in the day, there was a scraff. What do you call them? A scraffle? They were scrapping verbally, this PI and an ex-friend. They had a tizzy with each other about something so stupid. He did what and you did this and I got a charge for this and got fired and all this crazy shit. I don't remember. But people who would listen later know. They know who this is. And I remember hearing something about, well, they're looking at the Starkeys, right? But when was that? 2023 or 2024? I can't remember. It's been a while since I dropped that bad habit. So I think it was 2023. But irregardless, it doesn't matter. Word came about that when they were talking and arguing and fighting like children, they were talking about, and this is people close to Brandy, okay? And not only that, this is a person who had family in the neighborhood, which is really strange to me. It's a little too close. But they were thinking that something was being investigated and looked into with the Starkeys. Oh boy. Wasn't really hard to get information like this from that group. So I wonder if that actually could be a potential. I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass. Kerfluffle. Thank you, Ellie B.
Is this your room here?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to see anything in particular while we're here?
What beds are in the house?
This one right here. This looks like some master. Looks like it's a comfortable bed. Is this one yours?
Yeah, it's a queen.
That's a nice bed. And I'll go in the other room.
Oh God, the tragedy pimps, man. They were like, oh my God, the bed. Poor Michael. And it's sickening. Like, y'all make the weirdest shit up in your minds.
This one over here. That looks like a water bed. Or what is that?
No, that's a queen bed as well. What's in the next room over?
This one's empty.
Nothing.
Yeah. Was there a bed in there?
Oh, it was supposed to be a California king bed in the master bedroom, in our bedroom, but I don't know what happened to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Which one did Adrian stay in?
Sarah said, be gone, demon bed. You been sleeping with these hoes? I don't know. So I'm going to double protect myself and toss this shit.
The room you're facing to your right.
This one here?
No.
This one here?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it
It looks empty, bro.
Yeah, that's all. That's. Oh.
Yeah, the car's here.
I'm just.
Okay, so you got one.
What's in the closet? Nothing.
Nothing. It looks empty. Going out here, as you can see, everybody's still in the backyard. Let me go back here to the laundry room. Anything in here?
So we're getting to the garage. This is where I really wanted
What's
to
the
get
garage
to.
look like? Empty.
Yeah.
Well, it looks about the same. It has her car, but it looked like before there's like a trailer. And
Oh.
Yeah, the car's here.
I'm just.
Where was that duct tape at?
Turn the camera to the left of her car.
Over here?
Yeah, there was a bookshelf. Yeah, that's the duct tape roll, I think. Or is that Scotch tape?
It's Scotch tape.
Oh my God, he's pulling this out of his arse. Oh, that's Scotch tape. There it is. Oh, wait, but I thought you said you saw her. You would know. That would be a traumatizing thing to witness, right? You would know exactly what color that duct tape was. You would know exactly where she would have gotten it from, and you got it wrong. What is wrong with you, Stacey? But what is wrong with the detectives thinking, buying this shit? But let's calm down, because maybe this is all a plan.
Yeah, no, that's not the right one. No, it wouldn't be on the table. There was a little stand.
Okay. Let me look around for it.
It was a tall bookshelf. It was a tall one.
Taxi ride for today?
No. I mean, it was literally closer to the trailer on the right side. No. That side of the trailer, but
My left.
yeah, your left, my right. But it was sitting. They did a lot of rearranging in the garage.
All right.
So the boxes that were in the garage that Kim Elko said she saw in the spring of 2021 at a garage sale, which 2 and 2 in your mind would be like, did they sell the tricycle? Probably. If they even had it there, and Kim isn't talking out of her arse, she could be telling the 100% complete truth, or she could misremember which cookie cutter house it was. Who knows? I want to know, Kim, if she saw this or remembered this tricycle later, as in when this came out, when this was exposed. I don't know. It would be better if it was before then. Who knows?
So how long has she been in custody? Is that why she wasn't answering the last couple nights?
No, I think last night was.
Maria O'Sullivan in the chat, coming back for another round of Cannot Face Reality. She's a local. So what we're going to do, because I do respect locals, and the ones that are local who are too close, as much as I love your support, if you're going to be an asshole, we block you. It's not right to Michael for you to come in here acting like an ass, and a smart ass for that matter. You're looking a little sus. I'm looking at you sideways, Maria. Let's go ahead. One of the mods. Drum roll. Block Maria. Let's do that. Thank you.
Her last night?
Yeah, they were. But so question.
Yeah.
Crazy Cat Tarot, I'm sorry that we're not going to do any kind of accusations of someone committing a crime. You think that Chris Madonna is into trafficking. That's a very serious thought. You should report that, but let's not do that. Let's not be suspicious off of anything you can't prove. That's a big deal.
Out front or out back here.
Yeah.
Trying to direct these guys. As you can see, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
They've had 3 cadaver dogs have all alerted to the backyard, but they're trying to narrow down the scent. And so, any help you have.
So to be 1,000% with you, where I directed you is the last place that I knew. That's literally the place that he was buried. Where that dumpster is, or where that bucket is right there is. I mean, that's in the area where I told you. I wasn't out there when she was burying him, correct? Completely.
Okay.
I just had noticed the general vicinity, which is where that bucket, that loader is. That's
So we came out to this.
the fence.
See that mark on your fence?
Yeah.
We came up to that point, and we went down, how far did you guys go?
Oh, about 3 foot. Pretty good.
Yeah.
We're down about 3 foot. Pretty deep.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything. How close was he to the, it's like the box that was out there, the sprinkler box? How close was he to the sprinkler box?
He was to the, where's the sprinkler box at again?
It was in the middle of the yard, about where the bucket is.
Oh yeah, it's not there anymore, huh?
Okay.
I mean, he wasn't, it was, I think it was a little bit closer in than the sprinkler. Where was it at? Right there?
Yeah, you can see it out there torn up.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
he's
so it
so
would've been a
full
little
of
closer
shit.
in. Not
To me.
you have to, unless you have to either, but I don't,
Over there in the corner by the fence.
it maybe.
On the street?
No, I didn't see boxes down there. What's under there?
Nothing. Just some light bulbs.
I don't think.
No, what's the
Honestly?
nail on the thing right there?
So this one is property statement.
Honest to God, I don't think that anyone needs to hear the rest, because honestly, you go look for yourself, and there's not enough time in the world to talk about how many discrepancies there are. But it is over 2 hours, and it's dinner time. Beef stroganoff tonight. Ellie B and Jesse. I think Jesse Martinez was the one that said something about TV dinners. No, ma'am, we are doing beef stroganoff tonight. Yum, yum. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. Even if there was only 30, it doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's not. Y'all are the true MPVs, even the lurkers. Because if you're lurking, that means I'm smirking. Because I'm getting to you. I'm getting through to you that you might need to think differently, even if you go and run and hate bond with your friends. I am making sense to someone. 30 people, that's enough for me. So, much love to you guys. Team Michael Vaughan all the way. Justice will be served. Justice will be served and truth will be told. Much love. Hey, Sleuthy. Lurker here, but friendly. Of course. Always welcome. I need to talk to you about Delphi. If you could check your DMs too. I have questions. I have grave concerns. All right, guys. Much love. Drink your water. Hug yourself and your babies, your grandbabies, your fur babies. And I will see you on the next live. Goodbye.
Did you make a move? I bet you did. I bet you did. You think you're slick, think you're cool, but you're a fool. You better listen to me. Listen to me. I have a feeling that you don't wanna know what she'll do to you. Oh, she's always right. You think you got away with it. You think you got away with it. You think you got away with it. You think you